Stay tuned, my corners, and welcome back to another episode of RogueTech as we get into the campaigns of Howl's Harrows, and, well, it's time to field the Emperor. I'm very much looking forward to this. I've been looking forward to this for quite some time. It's finally made it onto the field, and so 3 of 13 priority salvage, destroy base, 378,000 seals at 4 skulls. This ought to be a good test of our brand new Emperor. And the completion of our initial fire support lancet, having 4 mechs designed purely for, well, not purely, but mostly for artillery support. So, we have Finn in the Vulture, with nothing but artillery. Death Crusade in the Thanatos, which is actually a bit more of a brawling, long-range combatant. Single Thumper, 4 medium pulse lasers in the Risk MML 25. Jester is driving the Emperor. I've given him every chance to succeed. This is a 10-10-10-10 pilot, who now also has Gunnery 12 because of, head cockpit systems. So yeah. Hopefully this works out pretty good. He has 8 rounds of shave charge and 24 rounds of high explosive for 32 rounds total. Should give him about 16 rounds of combat. Then he's got 360 swarms, 240 hydras. So shuffling off 30 missiles at a time. He will go through this in 12 turns and this in significantly less than 12 turns, but we'll use the hydra a little bit more sparingly. Hopefully this works out. This is the plan. Mockingbird in the Mackie, a bit more heavily influenced by the sniper artillery and police, and I probably will replace these large lasers with something. Either that or I'll go in something a little bit more direct fire support. Howl still in her Gausswolf, not leaving that mech behind at all. Showboat in the Axeman, Paradox in the Onager, and its buddy the Catapult Mech 3 is all ready to rock and roll. So with all of those introductions out of the way, let's drop everybody on top of everybody. Very much looking forward to seeing how it performs. Once we get the artillery lance in, we should hopefully be able to start knocking pieces off the base. We have a base garrison and a destroy facility. We can actually kill it from here. Like, there's actually no reason why I need to actually get in range to shoot anybody. I could just, stand at maximum and shell the ever-living crap out of them, especially with how closely clustered they are. I don't have to do a gosh darn thing to you, do I? Let's start sending some high explosive their way. Missed by a little bit. Didn't hear any communications about what's going on, and so I have to assume the worst, and that we missed. And so I shall drop a pair of high explosive arrows right on top of the base, and there goes one. So we may even just knock out the entire thing on turn 1, just so we don't have to worry about it. Although that might be a little bit of a risky thing, because at the end of the day, we also still want to get all of the mechs and steal them. We are, of course, taking this for priority salvage, and at 4 skulls, priority salvage can mean a lot. So let's see if we can't turn off the swarms, just because I want them to have a little bit more of a direct target. We'll drop another high explosive somewhere around here, and we'll see what ends up happening. Twin cannon shells. It's a little bit smaller than our direwolf, but I think it looks cooler. Not gonna lie, I'm not a huge fan of the look of the direwolf. Not exactly the most beautiful looking mech. Shade's Emperor, though, is absolutely gorgeous. I mentioned this last time. I know I mentioned this because I was thinking about it, but the one thing I had complained about, in air quotes that you can't see right now, was the fact that the cannons looked too short. And I said, the one thing I would do is I would have extended the cannons. Well, the moment I put a thumper onto them, the cannons were extended, and ooh, lord, is it a gorgeous looking mech. Not as cool as the Talus. Sorry, Talus still has my heart, but one of the very cool design. You can see the lineage of several other mechs in it as well. Quite the fan. We'll drop high explosive shell, see if we can't extend the radius, and maybe that'll get something. Listening, and no report. Yeah, we may have just missed every single shot. So we'll have to get somebody forward who can actually direct a little bit of fire. So forward goes our scout, and we have identified 2 targets. We have an Apollo and a Hatchet Man. It's actually a pretty interesting hatchet man. 2 SRM-6 acids, quartet of machine guns, and 2 medium lasers. That's not the worst thing in the world. I mean, I don't know how much endorsement that actually stands for, but not the worst mech I've ever seen. I'm going to drop some Hydra on the Apollo. It's heavier, and it might have some kit that I care about. Probably not, let's be honest with ourselves.
Ready for orders.
The Vulture also should have some pretty good sensors. I'm going to rush it on forward. It doesn't need to actually see its target. I mean, that goes for the entire artillery lance, but got a Caesar at 70 tons. That might be something we're stealing. Alrighty, so let's get some fire down to the hatchet man. We'll go full on guided on this one for maximum accuracy. And do I have any problems getting sensor lock on him? And our fire medium sprinted, yeah. Rock and roll. Enjoy. And he's no longer having a good day. Death Crusades Thanatos, do you have just a shot? Something I can sort of lob his... Oh, boy, you better believe it. Switch over to the shaped charge and drop this sucker right on top of the Hatchetman. Oh, just getting even worse by the minute. It's lovely. Artillery is the king of the battlefield for a gosh darn reason. Or is it the queen of the battlefield? Because the queen's a stronger piece in chess. But the king is more often considered to be, you know, the ruler of a country. It's an interesting question. Gauss, continue to move forward. You need direct fire. You don't have it just yet, so we'll just lob you on forward. Run you on forward? Run you on forward, that's fine. And that shit, man, finally trying to get the heck out of Dodge. You don't want to be anywhere near there. Jester, ready for orders. How good of a job did he do running? He didn't do that good of a job running. Alright. Let's give a little bit of love. You get some, you get some. This can go bravo, this can go bravo. This is alpha, alpha, swarms, and high explosives. No, 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 sir. We're going to use your very limited shape charge, and let's see if we can't kill it. So the very first employment of the Emperor against a point target. Copy that. Swarming the Apollo. And then following that up with... Gone. That's the way to start the day. I love it. That was gorgeous. You did wonderfully, Mr. Emperor. He shall lead us to glorious victory, I foresee. How badly damaged did the Apollo get? Pretty nice scattering across it. Those swarms are more designed as a, sort of a follow-up to the incoming shells, because I do believe the shells hit first. Oh, we got some incoming point defense, and the laser light show has begun. So we have now begun the laser show. Gonna have to make sure that I set all of my point defenses to maximum overload. The Vulture doesn't have one. The Thanatos does. Jester does not have one. Mockingbird. I tried. I just couldn't find the space for it. Believe me, I tried. Although he only has a light engine in him, if I recall correctly. So we could actually free a pretty decent amount of tonnage by throwing in a Clan XL. I'm not willing to, you know, keep him off the field for that long. But it is a possibility. Should we desire it. We don't. But it could happen. It could happen. Yeah, you have only one target, and I don't feel like wasting the MMLs on that target. We'll wait on you. You'll die through other means. Probably just continuous shelling. The Thumpers being much, much more accurate than the Snipers, of course. Not sure if I'll keep... Well, what I could do is I could swap out the Sniper for a Long Tom. That might actually work out a lot better. Because the Long Tom would give us the ability to hit just giant area targets. Although every so often you do run across something like this. I want to save the Gertrude. It seems like it's going to be something interesting. So I will actually, you know, move up the hill a little bit more. Change my angle of fire. 63 is not all that great. Especially not with a shape charge. Although ooh, yeah, I could begin an Inferno Bombardment. Yeah, let's actually start that. We'll start lighting you up, because I do believe next turn I should be able to get on top of you. Oh, dead on hit. Otherwise it would have landed on our own feet, and that would have been terrible. An Orion is not interesting. It's a better mech at 75 tons. Oh, we got some long-range artillery fire. We're going to have to counter-battery that real quick. Because I don't feel like getting shot at. Was that a turret? It was a turret. Yeah, you're going to die. I don't know if you've realized this. What are you? You're a heavy turret chassis, 100-ton. Looks like I'm going to need to get somebody to get a little bit more direct fire. Like the Gauss Wolf, which... Okay, can't see anybody. I mean, it would have been really cool if the Gauss Wolf could have just swooped on in, seen the entire universe. But as it stands, not happening just yet. What are you? Oh, you are the Apollo. Okay, you had moved from there. Coach in the catapult. So we're going to just shift on over here. We're going to indirect ultra long range fire on the good. Ooh, we have information. Interesting combo. Are you aggressive? Well, it looks like it's like a cataphract. You're totally bog standard. You're a sniper artillery that does need to die, admittedly, and you are an AC-20 that's just as long as you can't see me, it doesn't care. Yeah, let's get the cook. Let's get this cook going on. It's a barbecue and you've been invited. Aye, aye. We'll have the Vulture try and knock down that turret, though. Because I don't want to have to deal with it. Guided arrows ought to be good. Twin shot. Dunked. Okay, no more counter battery from them. See, this is the might and power of so much artillery in a single lance. I absolutely love it. I'm absolutely adoring it. Let's go with another shape charge, because I think you can hit it. Roger that. Yes, once again, proving that my faith is well placed in the Thanatos. Although, I don't think the Thanatos has an upper recoil. I need to check that. Like, right now I want to check that because it's important to me. You have that gun in your right arm, yes? No, you don't. It's in your left. Of course, it's the Thanatos. Yeah, he doesn't have... So he doesn't have upper recoil, which would actually increase... If I had an upper recoil plus in that mech, it would increase his accuracy by 1 more, which I should probably do. But specifically in the... What I'm thinking of, though, is trying to do something like that with the Emperor. Because making that accuracy even better is obviously a grand thing. Paradox. Let's bring on the Onager. The Onager is, of course, going to swing on left, see if we can't focus on the Gertrude, because it is the target that I do want to shut down. If I can just continue to shovel all of the heat in the universe onto it, that should do a good job of turning it off. Speaking of, Chester, hi. You do not have Inferno shells, unfortunately. You only have shape charge and artillery, and high explosive. So let's go give him... Oh, God. The accuracy is so beautiful. Can you kill the Orion? Not as much. Could kill every shredder. Now let's see if we can't bomb out the Apollo. So a twin of a shaped charge and the massive swarm. And it just continues on from there. Lovely. So yeah, the Emperor is proving to be both incredibly accurate and rather powerful. It's everything that we had looked for and asked for. Give me another shape charge. Inferno. On the way.
Let's get this done, folks.
The artillery is just godlike. Someone recently posted in the RogueTech Discord they didn't know how to make artillery work. So the way that you make artillery work is, one, you either build for maximum accuracy, but more easily what you can do is you aim at an area nearby. Oftentimes artillery's main effect is going to be sort of shredding and sandpapering around a target. However, vehicles have some special logic when it comes to artillery. Splash damage against vehicles will always go up against the center turret. So if you have 4 mechs of artillery, you can sandpaper through the top armor. Vehicles are also very vulnerable to fire, so look for Inferno shells and Inferno arrows because they will cook everything. And really just understand that it's a game of inches, and so eventually you will shred through all the armor. Artillery against a target that's already been cracked is absolutely devastating because that splash damage can cause so many crits, and one should always aim for it. Gertrude's still not shut down. Let's change that.
Here we go.
Oh,
Tango is trash, Skipper.
Plan B. We're gonna have to cook the Orion. I gotta come out of this with somebody cooked. We came here to barbecue, and one of you is going to be mine. Pair of heavy shredder turrets. Oh, triplet of heavy shredders. Okay, we can knock out these heavy shredders with no problem. Shape charge. Popped it open, and now it's vulnerable for area artillery. And I never need to get close. That's the thing. I can shoot them from well beyond the effective range of an AC-20. Was there no path through here? Did I accidentally... Yeah, I boxed myself in. That's okay. I have Hydras, and Hydras do what Hydra does. Basically barbecues everything.
Yes,
So large numbers of large area weapons are very effective at just getting everybody, cooked up. Go for Infernos.
Roger that.
Arrows never need to hit a target. Even if you have a terrible chance, they will always hit somewhere nearby, so you can use a high explosive arrow on that. Gun artillery, on the other hand, if you don't have a direct... If you're not almost guaranteed to hit the target, go for an area attack, because if gun artillery misses, it more often than not tends to land at your own feet. I think it's a bug somewhere, but it's something to keep in mind. I'm just going to cook you up. And the artillery also, the big area of effect damage that we've been dealing all over the place, it's too much for him. Ooh. I don't know if that was good or bad. Basically, we knocked him over and then we cooked him, because, the Inferno shells. But the problem with that is, when you knock somebody over, you make them a lot less vulnerable to a headshot, because it reduces it by like 4 or 5%, which can be a bit of a problem. So I could go for this headshot, but I've only got a 16.5% chance of killing him. So it may just be better to try and cook him out. So actually what I'm going to do, I'm going to sprint. We're going to run on forward, see if I can't get myself in range. Walking into that patch was a mistake, I admit it, but it had to be done, I suppose. Alright, let's knock out every single one. You, and you. Let's see if I can kill 3 in one go. So Bravo, Charlie, Bravo, Alpha. Yes. Shape charge, swarms, rock.
Multiple targets confirmed.
Should have fired hydras. Got that first target. Second target down. And third target, come on, 97. Perfect! Oh, that's the way you open. That is the way that you announce that you have joined a lance. You knock out all 3 turrets in 1 round of shooting. Nice. Oh, I'm thrilled with how this turned out. Alright, Chobo. The way has been made clear for you. Please head on forward to collect your prize. Of course, we do expect reinforcements to show up at some point. Yeah, buddy, you're on fire. I'm gonna get a line of sight on you. I'm gonna start lobbing inferno missiles down onto your head. So, holy god! Oh, because it's I thought for a second they all jammed, but no, I'm just out of hydras. Perfect time when they run out of hydras. Hi.
I'm there.
I come from another lance. Please don't resist. 240 heat. He's not having a good day, which is grand.
Yes, Commander.
Death Crusades Thanatos has no target, which is actually not a terrible thing. I mean, we could, open fire, see if we can knock off his head, but I'm not willing to blow up my second chance. Unfortunately, we have managed to blow up our primary target. I think that Gertrude probably had a lot of cool stuff in it, which is why I wanted to steal it. Unfortunately, that will just not end up happening. Yeah, start coming down the path. We'll get our direct fire lance in a position to start engaging, although we may actually pull back. I'm just trying to trigger the AI to light off the reinforcements, because I can only assume reinforcements are on the way. It would make too much sense. The Vulture luckily can get a turn where it just gets to chill out, and that'll be nice and easy on that one. Lovely. And Jester in the Emperor, also starting to get a little bit toasty. It's nothing too terrible, but it is something that we do want to keep an eye on. Just how much heat does he build? I don't know if we're on a desert or a hill biome. I actually didn't bother checking. I think we're still in desert. So if he's only building that much heat over firing everything he's got in those rounds, that's working out okay. I'm reasonably pleased with that.
How's it going?
His throw weight is so fun. And the reason why I went for LRMs instead of MMLs is, one, LRMs fit easier, although I would like to get my hands on some clan LRMs. If I can, I'll go up to LRM 20s, because that'll drop my weight by 2 tons. And I think they're also smaller. So, you can go for the cook. Just aim for his head. No, not his shoulder, his head, please. Thank you. And barbecue. Pilot has bailed. Okay, lovely. We have that under control now. And he'll just move to the side. So we have our guaranteed 75 tonner, which is good. It's probably not a 75 tonner I have any interest in keeping, but we can sell it. Unfortunately, it's not the most advanced looking version that I saw. I mean, it's a standard Orion. I don't even think it was the LB10X version. So there's just nothing really all that cool about it. But we'll just make it work. Can chill out the Vulture. And the X-Men can continue her journey through fire and flame. Kind of using her as a bit of a guinea pig. Although she's backed up by Howl, which is one heck of an amount of backup. Traveling down the switchback road in our clan mech. I gotta find some clan LRMs. It's what I desire. Because the weight on clan LRMs is just so good. They're half the weight of their inch for counterparts. It's amazing. I could go to LRM 20s on the Emperor and save 4 tons. Which would allow me to ditch the patchwork materials. Which would allow me to put in other things onto it. I mean, it would be lovely if I could do that. So we're just gonna have to keep an eye out. So if you see CLRM 20, that's what we want. CLRM 15 is fine too. I mean, we can still use the weight savings on that.
Roger.
The Vulture really has no reason to come down.
Commander.
Yeah, stay up high. That'll be nice and safe for y'all. Catapult, chill out. Mockingbird's Mackie can chill.
Roger.
Charlotte, continue your press towards the location. Oh yeah, we're here for blowing up the buildings. Totally forgot.
Tell me what to shoot.
Okay, got the building.
Destroyed. Yes, Commander.
Howl, do you have a target? No, you gotta turn a bit.
Location confirmed.
Kill the harder building.
I copy.
Pair of Gauss rifles. There's only 1 building left.
Fresh real estate.
Do I have anybody left?
Waiting for orders.
The Onager. Yeah, why don't you knock out the small military building? Is that seriously it? A single lance stood against us? Huh. Who would have thunk it? Alright, yeah, the entire base was cleared out. There was only 4 mechs. That was kind of sad for a 4-skull mission. Although the Emperor acquitted itself quite beautifully. At 3 targets, 3 down was just gorgeous. Absolutely perfectly executed. It's a lovely mech. I think it'll work out quite well. Just need some clan tech to make it even superior, but in its form, it is incredibly deadly. And I don't think we took any damage at all, which is always lovely. Yeah, looks like the Caesar detonated. We must have blown up the engine and the center torso somehow. Or ammunition explosion, that's more likely probably it. The entirety of the Orion is there. It is a VA Orion, which is a slightly less cool Orion, but has some cool hard... I believe it has the good hard points, right? 222, maybe, maybe not. Problem lasers, medium lasers, SRMs. How many fusion core? I have 2. I'm good with that. Another hatchet. It's only 45 damage. Wouldn't be the worst thing in the world to grab, though. Somebody had double heat sinks. I'm willing to guess it was the, whatchamacallit, the Caesar. Not really needs high sniper ammo. Not really. I'm doing good on that. 8 tons. Inferno ammo, I have 6 tons. We're good on that. Yeah, I think we just go for the mech, see if we can grab it. Because everything else here is pretty vanilla. I was expecting a little bit different from Savian, but... 1, 2, 3... Nope. Didn't get any of them, but they both disappeared. Magic. Did get a 300 rated fusion core and the ammunition gauss, the sniper rounds as well. Didn't get the Infernos, which would have been like the perfect combination of that, but everything else that we managed to get was okay. Nothing too terrible. And we came into that mission with no damage, so it's reasonable to have accomplished. So we'll sell the mech parts, get ourselves a decent amount of cash to pay off all of our drop costs on that one, maybe even pay off for the end of the month. We'll have to keep that in mind because I do not want, well, I want to continue to increase my store of cash because eventually I should build that Atlas. I'm obviously not going to build a melee Atlas. That would be absurd. Literally no mech stick damage. King Crack gets to build in peace. However, allow me to demonstrate a mech that I have prepared earlier. I had to add the shape charge ammo because I totally forgot to do that, so I've cycled a day, which means the Black Knight is ready for more refitting. Piece by piece we shall build him. So, his fixed damage weapons, his Pirate ER medium lasers, are officially intact and mounted onto the mech. So next thing that we go with is the fixed damage that also combines with a percentage. That'll be things like the axes, and we need to get those in there. So, we have a hatchet 90 damage, plus 30% melee, and an axe plus 65. Just gotta do a quick check. We have a vibro sword, which is plus 60. I do believe the axe is better, so it's plus 3 melee, actually 60 damage, and 20% melee damage. And this is... no, that's not it. This is 65 damage and 25%. Yeah, so the axe is better. As much as I'd love to have the Vibro Sword large on there, just because of the mental image of it carrying a Vibro Sword and an axe is really cool to me, no, he's going to be dual-wielding axes. So that's damage and percent. Now, we do also need to consider putting other things on. I believe we mounted a boomstick on this. Does the boomstick add anything other than percentage damage? Where is it? It's all at the top, alphabetical. Done to be done. See, the damage increases by 20%, so we're good with that. So we don't need that. Need to check our actuators. I believe I have upper spiked. Upper hardened, upper spiked is just a percentage increase. Okay. And now the lower legs, I believe, will be the same percentage increase. Yes, they do. The spiked helmet will also be the same increase, I think. Do I not have one anymore? My goodness, I don't have one anymore. But I'm 90% positive it's just 10%. I'm going to have to rip that spiked helmet clean off the other mech, the Axeman. Because I don't have an extra one. Right, she was on our last one and I didn't rip it off because I didn't think it was a time. But I'm 90% positive that it's just like a 10 or 20% increase. We don't have a fire control system for melee, do we? Indirects, missiles, recoil, pirate, armored cowl. Yeah, we don't have one of those. And I don't believe we were going for the DNI Mark II. I'll have to double check my notes. I think that's it for you. Where's your endo TSM? Endo TSM. Whoosh. And I don't know if we put it on just right now. The gyro defense is good. I don't have a gyro dreadnought anymore. I think we'll end up putting that on, but I'm not positive. I just want to double check. So I think we're good with all of the stuff that we're adding that is just percentage and damage. So it's just the axes and the hatchet. Is there anything else that would influence that? No, we're good. So that'll be 2 days, 3,000 Seabills. We'll be able to take another look at him soon. And I actually probably should refer to my notes before I do much too more, because we are going to be fielding in another 2 days. Alright, so 1 and 2, stop. Lovely. So we got our pilots back. Our mechs were perfectly fine. So they've been polished and cleaned up,
Yes, Commander.
which is lovely. We didn't actually have to invest on anything all that dangerous.
For orders.
Waiting for orders.
Receiving you.
Quick check on the pilots to make sure they're all good. Ooh, something I didn't do. I didn't check the store before I started today. So we better check that now, because the store can carry things that you'd never believe were possible. So we've got... It's a Rack 10, but it's a pirate Rack 10. But the double ton I will gladly steal. Thank you. Ammo Rack 5 I don't need. Actually, no, that's... I have 15 tons of ammo Rack 5. That's right, I don't need it. I need double tons, though. MRM improved. Firefist. AMS. How much AMS ammo do I currently floating? Give me 6 tons. I tend to use it in doubles. No. No. And no. Okay, so we're good. We have a whole bunch more stuff to sell, but that's not the biggest of concerns at the moment. Let's switch on over. Let's see the next mission. So we've got an escort. No. Capture base. Maybe. Ambush convoy. No. No. Capture base. Maybe. And escort. We'll grab surveillance outpost. This ought to be pretty quick. And if we run into somebody who's got a pirate helmet, we can blow them apart in order to steal it. So rock and roll with the lance real quick. And we'll dive in on another contract. Maybe we'll be able to steal some stuff for the Black Knight. I'll get your Gauss Wolf. Showboat the Axeman. Onager goes to Paradox, because he's the better one, and Coach tries that. And that's how we decide that. In case you were wondering, by the way, that's the calculus I use. The Gauss Wolf belongs to Howl, so obviously she drives it. Showboats are only melee pilot, so she gets the Axeman. The Onager is the better between the Onager and the Catapult, or rather, it needs more accurate firing because it has plasma cannons, and so those plasma cannons need to kind of hit, which means I need a slightly better pilot for it. Now, to be fair, they have the same tactics and gunnery, but I like the whole package. That way I can hopefully keep the Onager intact longer as we continue to level up the pilots. A little disappointed that Howl's not max level. She got beaten to it by at least 2 pilots. So we'll be able to put everybody back on it. Now, 417 priority salvage makes it a little bit easier to just rob everything blind and not have to worry all that much. Especially with some pirate gear. Pirates have some really good... how do I describe this properly? They have some really good combat gear for melee combat. So one of the things we may actually run into is a pirate ER medium laser, and when we put the spiked helmet into the Black Knight, that will actually open up an additional spot because it removes the sensors for it, and that actually works out really nicely because that I could fit in a 7th pirate ER medium. Now, it's kind of a bad time to install it because it'll be after we've put on the axe and the hatchet, but better late than never, although it is going to reduce its percentage increase by an amount. Hello, we are here. We are here to kill you all. Targeting intelligence, survey outpost. Good luck. Lovely. So scout outpost, destroy enemy force. Sounds like a plan. Onager, why don't you get on the move? Apparently you won the initiative wars. Normally the initiative war is won by the catapult because it's smaller. It's smaller, lighter. I believe they travel at about the same speed though. Oh no, they tied. Never mind. I was giving him too much credit. He didn't do that well. Option forward so I can get some sensor data on the next turn, because sensor data is key to keeping our mechs aggressive and intact. He'll push out slightly next to him. And before I do that, I'm going to set you to overload. Just make sure I don't miss it. I want to make sure that everybody's actually protecting themselves really well. I will not set the internal laser AMS to overload. That's a little bit dangerous on a desert map, and I don't think I need to worry that much about it. I may come to rue those words, but it's only a 2.5 mission. So we're all set up with that. Lovely.
Commander.
Alright, Thanatos. Incoming shell. Show me a pillar. Oh, don't see a pillar. Okay, I'll just drop one right in the middle. Anybody home?
On target.
Is my way of knocking.
Damage is light. On my way.
Or we come on in. Probably start setting fire to things if I'm completely honest. Ooh, wait, no, I need to get Finn out of this mech. Because he doesn't have multi-target. And that is a huge part of this mech. Who's driving the... Yeah, I'm going to put Mockingbird in it.
Waiting for orders.
So I'm going to have to remember to switch that around. Because I want to be able to multi-target dart. Oh no, you're stuck. That's unfortunate. It's not the worst thing in the world. I mean, the mech is basically infinite range. You are also stuck, apparently. That's a little bit worse. Okay. Might be fighting with one hand tied behind my back. Okay, you have some maneuverability in the Mackie. Which is ironic, considering the Mackie never needs to move.
Roger, Skipper.
She sets up on a hill, starts laying waste to targets.
Copy that, Commander.
The whole base has just been rocked a little bit. Is the Emperor going to be stuck here as well? Or the Emperor? The Emperor is more than able to move. It doesn't need to. It's really not designed to, but it's always nice to be on the move.
Roger.
Also a little bit of cover. Next turn, we'll start laying down some pinpoint barrages, and the enemy will suffer for
Ready
it.
to rock.
Okay, you're going to run right over here, because it should keep you protected.
Affirmative, Commander.
And also light up everybody. Hi, you're a cockroach, aren't you? I don't have enough sensor data to tell, but I think you might be. Got a spider, a cicada, and a fire starter. I don't really want to shoot any of you. I'm going to lay a sensor lock down. In fact, does an EWS ping make sense? Yeah, let's active probe.
I've got a sensor lock.
Allows me to feel better about the fact that I'm not going to shoot anybody.
I hear ya.
Shobot's not quite in position to do anything about that, but she can, be in the neighborhood. Actually, no, Shobot can reserve in case it gets too close. I do want to steal him because he's got stealth technology on board, so he may actually be, equipped with deadly things that I need. Oh, I can see him now. Small laser, tag, and an ERPPC. He's got a null sig, ultralight, and a light engine, so he's got some pretty serious tech actually on board. Improved jump jets as well. What's in your head? Standard. Fire starter has some long fire missiles. What's in your head? Comm suite, which is nice. Totem sensor. Oh, this is the... Right, okay, so this is the Omni. Fire starter Omni, 45 tons. A little bit heavier than your standard one. Actually does have a lot of good kit. We used to use one. You have a... I think you do. No, you did not. Darn it. I was hoping for a spiked helmet. Armor structure core, fluid gun. I'm not really interested in fluid guns. Okay, you have patchwork material, which makes you nice. And the cicada die bug.
Taking the shot.
Oh, we missed it. For once, it didn't blow us up.
Moving to position.
How you managed to miss that shot, by the way, I'm not quite sure. Although it was quite amusing to watch the entire thing just collapse after a single mortar shell. The Thumper is not a mortar, but it is the lightest of the three big artillery. That, of course, being the Thumper, the Sniper, and the Long Tom. I really should actually make use of a Long Tom at some point. Like, I resist as much as I can, but I really should just give in, start utilizing it more.
Orders.
Alright, Vulture. Give me a target on Mr. Must Die. Guided shells. That's beautiful.
Roger.
You're not dead, which is a little bit disappointing, but hey, it's a start in the right direction. Howl does not see anything. Because she's stuck. But hey, I can operate like this. Really kind of annoyed that this happened like this, but I can dream. Should have turned just a little bit more, but I figured that they were all going to spawn in front of the base. That was my first mistake. Okay, anyway, how do you respond? What are you going to send my way? Hopefully not the cicada. Nobody, okay, I can work with that. Oettinger, can you get a direct line of sight, please? He cannot. Right, let's sort of forecast his movement. He's going to move forward, I think. So we'll Hydra him. Enjoy the cook. And we're not quite cooking, but we're working on it. Mackie. Doesn't need to move, but can certainly lay down a pain. Kill high explosive, or shape charge, I mean. And knock at a cicada, please. We took out something good. I think we knocked out that entire torso.
What can I do for
Shell
you?
out reserve.
Uh-huh.
And Jester's Emperor. Yeah, we can hit that. And I can hit that. Right, so let's multi-target. You. Shape charge. Looks like a plan. Rocket.
Engaging multiple targets.
And he's dead. Absolutely gone. Please kill a spider. I know he's not damaged at all, but it was an opportunity that I kind of was hoping would end up happening.
I copy.
Point defenses are online and ready to protect. Spider on the move. He's been tapped. How are you gonna do? I really want to know what this Urban Mag does. He's got a PPC or was it an ER PPC? So he should prefer to fight at long range, but it looks like he's got a headbutt. And he did hit me for the damage, which is unfortunate. I was hoping not to take damage. Also means the Hydras are not available. Ooh, we've been target acquired. You jerk. Alright, shove up.
Waiting on you, Commander.
He's not actually in range. Kick on the mask. Let's go full speed. We're going to ignore a little guy because we're going to be able to cook him next round. That's not a problem. But I do want to get in close to the people that I don't care about so that I can axe them. Look how fast she is with mask. It's lovely.
I'm still reading.
Yeah, we got a reinforcement force.
You need to secure the area before you
Or did we?
proceed.
Maybe not. Doesn't really matter though. We will take these guys out at their word. Fire! I think you managed to miss most of that shooting, but that'll be fine.
Got something
Finn,
you want
in
done?
your vulture. Yeah, kill the spider. He's gonna be fast and hard to hit. Ooh, just dead. Just gone. Didn't even
That's
exist.
the way we do it.
And
What are
coach.
your orders, Skipper?
Yeah, so that was pretty rough what he decided he wanted to do to us. So let's demonstrate to him how we handle people who are mean to us in the early phases of a combat. I'm also going to sensor lock you because you're right on top of me. And I want to make sure that everybody gets a nice, good, clean sensor lock on you. 92s. That'll work. Infernos. Cook. And that's 180 heat. Welcome to Shutdown Land. Population U.
Yeah.
Thanatos. You know what? Go for the shape charge. I believe in you.
Lock down. Inflicted.
Oh,
Heavy
that
damage.
was not what I was believing in. Dude. Keep that on the down low. I didn't want to do that. He made me. Alright, so he's got missiles. And we've got point defense. Although he does have Inferno missiles, which is pretty interesting.
Try aiming next time.
Shot down 20 of 20.
Good
Oh,
to
that's
go.
gorgeous. Onager, why don't you come continue our little cook fest that we're having over here?
Affirmative.
Incredibly disappointed. You had a thermal exchanger in your head, or did it blow up in the armor? Not quite sure how that worked out. Infernos, plasma cannons, rock.
Target confirmed.
Okay, that was a little bit more rocking than we wanted. If I were him, I'd be out of that mech so fast. I mean, the amount of fire that it's on right now.
Orders.
Gaswolf does nothing.
Bracing for impact.
Mackie could do some interesting things. I really don't want to risk it. Jester, where are you?
Yes, Commander.
Yeah, that's pretty gosh darn good. Let's go, Warlord. Let's go direct fire. Shape charges and swarms, baby, just for you.
Fire.
Just did not stand a chance.
Target neutralized.
I feel kind of bad, actually, for...
That was bad.
It wasn't that bad, was it? Yeah, it wasn't that bad, you big baby. Mockingbird. Your shape charge, unfortunately, does area of effect damage, and I don't want to risk it. Kind of feel bad for Showboat, because I just stole her glory on this one. Mask to off. Because she was supposed to be the one who destroyed the fire starter. It just did not end up happening. Dude, you're on fire. You're on so much fire, it's not even funny.
Oh, it's on now.
Just give up.
Yup.
There's nobody left here for you.
10-4.
And he's out. Okay, good. So we saved the center stack. We missed all of the stuff that was in the one leg, but that's... Or the one torso, but that's fine. Saving the center stack was more important. Because saving that center stack got us the light engine and his armor and a couple of other things.
What's up, Commander?
It's not the biggest pickup in the world, but every little bit helps.
What's up, boss?
Paradox.
Ready for
Move the onager forward. Gonna keep nice little amount of heat control.
Good to go.
Our direct fire lance very much designed more as a mob fire
Roger
company
that. Full speed.
with a melee mech involved as well.
Waiting for orders.
And lots of AMS. Don't forget the AMS. You can never forget AMS. Yeah, except when it jams. But now it's back.
Ready to get it on.
Vulture doesn't need to keep pace. Oh yeah, you're stuck. Sitting on top of a mountain.
Holding.
And the Emperor. I really shouldn't be like bringing the Emperor into brawling ranges. It's not designed for this. I mean, it has a decent amount of armor, but I believe it has an ultralight arrow in it.
Heads up, Commander. You've got
Oh, hi.
contacts inbound.
Oh,
We've got an unknown on sensor.
hi. Did you just fire a hyper laser at me?
You need me to hold still for you?
Good, he missed. Okay. Oh god! It's a Yunlo Wang. For those of you who don't know, this is a Centurion that has an AC 20 in the arm. And they just spawned in and they beat me on all moves. The amount of pain that I'm about to feel is probably going to be a great deal. At least they have a flea, but that locust... Is that a locust? Okay, bombard, giving some space. A lot of heat on that bombard, okay. 2 ballistic, 2 energy. This could be the clan version, which, if so, we want to blow out his center torso because that mech happens to have, I believe, a Gauss fire control system, but more importantly, twin clan Gauss rifles. So if you can just core him out, that'd be ideal. There's nothing in the center stack I don't think that's worth stealing. Unless he's got a clan XL, which he might. Okay,
Skipper?
I don't know how you're alive, but let's just go with that. Okay, another one of those. Oh, it's a louse. That's Glass's mech. I haven't seen Glass in a while. I miss him. Jackhammer, yeah, an AC 20, and you are... Oh, good. There's probably nothing interesting about you at all. I mean, you have an XL engine, which makes you vulnerable, but... Oh, I didn't notice that. You have prototype double heatsinks. Right. We might want to cook you. Cooking you is going to be hard, though. Because you have all the temperature control in the world. The Yunlo Wang is not something I'm really interested in tanking. So
All right.
I'll be hyper aggressive about this. And I'll go overload on the integrated laser AMS. And let's see if we can't start a little bit of a fire.
Facing the wrong way, pal.
160 heat, that's a good start.
Receiving you.
The Thanatos needs to move immediately to start reassessing the situation. Hi, 71 is good, that's even better. I do need to kill this Yunlo Wang. That's the AC 20. It's very dangerous to me. Oh, he has a supercharger in the center stack. Okay, we don't want to kill that then. Maybe cook you as well. Armored cowl. Ooh, that's fire control system autocannon is really good because it handles for if you're fielding a rack mech, it's definitely something you want to get your hands on because it gives you recoil control and ballistic accuracy increase or autocannon increase, which you know it is, but right, let's see if we can't cap the louse. Mainly because I don't want to deal with him anymore. Louse, do you have anything like important in your center torso? It's Spall Liner, which is, you know, fun, but other than that, Spall Liner prevents crits. Hi, yes, run as fast as you can. You have a line of sight, we'll go for it. We'll take what we can get here. That's as good as I can get. We'll go full power. And yeah, let's just hope for some cook. 150 heat. That's a knockdown. And a barbecue. Good, lovely. Showboat.
Commander?
Right, I know. I just sent you in this direction, but now I need to send you back in the other direction. So turn on the mask. I wish this wall was not here. Then she could run right through it. Unfortunately, it's not going to be the case. Okay, good. Maximum speed. See if we can get you over to protect as fast as we possibly can. And Finn. Yunlo Wang. Did we say we wanted to keep him or not really? The fire starter I know for a fact we don't want to take. The bombard has the double heatsink that I want to keep intact, so let's kill Oh yeah, the fire control system and the center stack I wanted to save. Because he has a supercharger. Yes, that's it. Kill the fire starter if possible.
Confirmed.
Okay, that's a dead fire starter.
I hope we can salvage that.
No, we have no plans of salvaging that, trust me.
Yes, Commander.
Howl has no target. No matter what I do. No target. Okay, Mockingbird.
Yes, Commander.
Mockingbird has a little bit better of a target. Alright, do I want to... How do I want to deal with you? You have a... That supercharger. I kind of want that supercharger. But at the same time, I don't want to, you know, waste the head. Because if we force him to eject, the head explodes, and we lose all of that. I don't want to give him an opportunity to ruin my day.
10-4.
Wait, what?
Scored a critical hit.
I'm losing armor bad.
Oh, that's lovely. I think he missed the auto. And it blew up the louse just by proxy. Okay, I'll roll with that, that's fine. Walk please. Yeah, that'll do. Okay, let's disarm you. If I disarm you, I'll feel a lot happier about this. You're still in direct fire range. Swarms, we'll go cooking.
Fire. Open.
Let's do some barbecue. 70 heat, that's an okay place to start.
Inflicting heavy damage.
Okay, coach.
Orders.
Yeah, I want you to torch the yellow wing.
Copy that.
Hi.
Copy that.
Lower leg destroyed, but then his supercharger went up, so that's the end of that mech. Okay.
Standing by.
I can work with that. Vulture stand still.
Roger.
Death Crusade is not in a position to assist.
Hunkering down.
Showboat is going to preserve.
Commander.
Paradox is up.
Roger.
So we did most of our cooking on his backside, so now we can shoot his front side with a little bit more ease. And he's out. Okay, so that's all of that. Whole bunch of prototype double heat sinks. So that should be the conclusion of that mission, which is lovely, but more importantly, it's going to be the salvage that we can steal from that mission, because this could be some pretty good stuff. I mean, there's obviously not the helmet that we wanted, but prototype double heat sinks in that number, that could be really useful. Especially on the higher level mechs that we have, you know, heat control is a bit of a big deal. So I may actually drag the Atlas out of storage and try and build that into some sort of fire support mech, or maybe a cooker mech? I don't know if that would work. I'll have to figure that out. So not a whole lot of money, won't even pay for the drop cost. Actually no, it did pay for the drop cost. What am I saying? Minimal damage capital took a little bit of a rough hit on the leg. We could just get the whole bombard. Oh, that's tempting. There's the parts of the Emperor mech we managed to save. An entire yellow wang. Just sort of out there. I mean, it's 55 tons. We could sell it. We'll consider that, because that's a decent bundle, actually. Grenade launchers are fun, or rather funny, but they're not all that useful, unfortunately. Armored cowl, we have no interest in. C3 slaves, I think I'm good on these, actually. Yeah, I've got 3. I'm fine on those. Comm Suite Plus, which I have 2 of, so I don't need that. An XL engine to sell. The autocannon. How many ultralights do I have? I have the 1, but I probably only need the 1. Prototype heatsink kit. I have 3 of those. Did you bundle? Oh, you did bundle the heat sinks. I have 11 of them? Wait. Huh. I will drop the XL engine because I don't really need to sell that badly. And I'm going to grab that bundle of prototype double heat sinks. So that way I have enough to just go... did it again? That way I have enough to go absolutely crazy on somebody. TSM is interesting, but Endo TSM is better. At the end of the day, we were not able to recover some of the stuff. Ooh, that's pretty nice. We'll get the mech so we can sell it. We also got most of the bombard. We were robbed 1 part. I would have gladly... That bloody cicada robbed me of a bombard. Yeah, the ultra gyro anyway. Some AC-20 double tons. Not bad. Came really, really close to getting 2 mechs out of that. God, that would have made me so happy. Just get the entirety of the bombard. It's like, yes, thank you. I very much appreciate such a thing. But sadly, it was not to be. So we have quite a few mech parts that we can sell, make a lot of cash on that. So we might be a bit flush with cash. Should anything really interesting show up in the store. So I'm going to make sure that we double check that one. So, because this was a decent mission for picking up some good tech. The prototype double heats and kits especially were very useful. 18,000 for 2 days. Oh no, whatever shall I do? Such insane amounts of damage. How shall the company survive? The Axeman and the Catapult both took a little bit of damage, which means the King Crack is not alone in the bay, which makes me a little bit happier because it's being more efficient with my bay usage. And faction. Let's see. The Rack 20 pirate. That's 20 times 3 times 5. I don't know how that works. I don't know, like, what is the part that does all of that. I think I want to buy it. It's 2 million sequence, though. I may buy it anyway. We'll find out. A-pod, jump jets, heatsink double, endo. Hardgel. People have been telling me I need to pick up more hardgel. So I'll pick up more hardgel. There, are you happy, people who keep asking me to pick up hardgel? I picked up hardgel. Come over, Brill D and Wang. Ready it up.
BattleTech is ready to fight, Commander.
Okay, I'll sell the Cicada. Sell the 4 Bombard parts. Sell the Caesar part. Oh, interesting. I was reading the description of it. So the personal mech of a particularly important person. 3 parts to an urban mech. Sadly, it was not the cockroach. If it was, I would have spared no expense to rob it. I don't quite have enough to... Well, I haven't sold the Yen Wang yet. So there is that. I was like, I don't have enough to afford that gun without digging into reserves. Oh good, we got the TSM anyway. Where'd you actually put the bloody TSM? Repair all. Oh no, the TSM was blown up. Oh, okay. Yeah, there it is. So it saved a jackhammer. Yeah, I have no interest in any of this. This is all garbage. We're gonna sell the Yen Wang. So junk, scrap. Okay, we'll make it off. Store. Let's go buy ourselves a Rack 20. I don't know if I'll make to put it in, but I have the Kraken. I could put it in the Kraken. There's dragon parts too. I mean, there's no dragon, but there's dragon parts. Faction. They're selling a Firestarter, Omni, and a Spider, which is terrible. Hi, C-Rack Pirate 20. Purchase for 2 million.
New weapon systems
there we go.
available.
Basically a wash. Show me my mech bay. Sure. I just want to check to see if I have any ammunition for a Rack 20. Rack Ultras. I have a single double ton of Rack 20 ammo, which is enough for 2 rounds of combat. I would need 5 more tons of these before I would consider that to be a safe amount of ammunition to actually go into battle with. So it's gonna be a while before we actually can field it. It's an interesting gun. I mean, I can't deny that. It's got some really interesting things about it. The fact that it, you know, fires so fast. Potentially 300 damage. Actually, no, it's potentially 600 damage if it fires at full rate. But it is like firing a it's like firing a rotary LBX autocannon. It doesn't exist, but it's, you know, interesting. It can explode for 100 damage per shot loaded. Oh, I didn't read that. So 5 misfire multiplier, recoil times multiplier equals the misfire chance, and the recoil is 6. So you'd want a weapon mount, a recoil actuator, and a recoil targeting computer, and a pilot equipped to handle that. That would be interesting. By the way, good, it does have a light engine and an ultralight gyro. So the obvious next step for the Emperor, when we finally get there, is one of those. This comes off. This comes off. And I'll shed a little bit of weight. Well, actually, no, what I would instead do is I would then have the space to put in a true gyro. like this Gyro XL, which gives me room for more ammunition, most likely. And then, of course, we would get the Klein LRM-20s, and they would take that, and we'd fill these up these 2 tons with ammunition. Or, more likely, we would go with upper recoils. We would need 2 of them, obviously. And this will handle a little bit more of the accuracy bonus that we get on that. So +1 accuracy is big. And we just keep blowing up everything. It'll be great. I'm looking forward to it. But that's not for now. The ultralight gyro does mean that I need to kind of keep this mech back, because it's not exactly the steadiest thing out there. Alright folks, that's going to do it for today's episode. I have been Tyrak. If you like what you've been seeing, hit that like button and subscribe. If you want to receive a notification every single time I upload these videos, press the little bell icon. Leave a comment, it's great for the algorithm, and I will see you all in the next episode.